I'm Lara, and my channel is called Sewn by Lara. So I've just gotten back for the weekend. I've been home for the weekend and been working away. I finished up the Style Arc Besharl pants and jacket with the Debra Zebra top, or zebra top, all from Style Arc. And I've made them in a EcoVear organic cotton knit and jersey knit that I purchased at my local Fabricland, and that's a gift for my mom at Christmas time. So I'm trying to get ahead. I'm a little bit behind in what I normally would be doing for Christmas at this point, and part of that is because of my home work-life balance. As I mentioned in another vlog, I'm a chaplain within the military, and I am working away from home at a base just up the road, and so during the week I've got my sewing machine right here beside me, and I'm working on kind of small projects because I have this rickety old computer desk beside me in the room that I'm staying in. And the room, as you can kind of see over my shoulder, it's pretty basic, right? It's like a hotel room, a low rent hotel room maybe. Sorry work, but it's not Gucci. Anyways, I'm making the best of it and trying to keep myself occupied and amused during my downtime. So one of the things that I've been working on, and it's taking way too long, are these pebble placemats. And they're really quite cute because they're all about gnomes, and there's the backing fabric, and as you can see, there's these really sweet gnomes, and it's like in shades of gray and taupe and cream, and they're really sweet. I really like gnomes ever since I studied Norwegian language in university, so I've made these with the intent of giving them to my parents, because I normally give them new placemats every Christmas, but I'm so tempted to keep them myself just because I really like this gnome fabric. But I do have a stockpile of leftovers because I was kind of guesstimating how much I would need for these, and so I may just take what's left over and make myself you know, some simple runners to put on my table. The fabrics that I've got left over, there's this lovely plaid. I've got my background fabric, which I got a steal of a deal on this at the Fabricland in Courtenay. I think it was $13 a meter, which, you know, for quilting cotton nowadays, that's a really awesome deal. And then I've got the gnomes and their little home, and then the bigger piece of this. So I was kind of thinking, with these scraps, can I make something that I can use in my home, and it would kind of fit color-wise with how I have my home decorated. So that's going to be one of my big projects this week. I've also got a lot of stuff printed out, you know, 8x11 sheets that I need to tape together, and I have a massive roll of tape here that I can just lay on the floor, or if worse comes to worse, I can go over to the office because it's only a few blocks away and just lay everything out on the big conference room table and just go to town with that. So those are, you know, pretty boring, but those are some of the projects that I'm going to be doing this week. I try to sew every day for, you know, about 15-20 minutes at minimum. And sometimes that is like quilting sewing, and other times that is garment sewing or just repairing, some of my clothes where I might have lost a button or something like that. And again, I find it's a really good meditative practice, actually, and a good transition between, work and home. And, if something has come home from work with me that really bothers me, fabric is my way to work out that problem or issue, frustration, whatever you want to call it, in a creative way, rather than, perhaps a harmful one. So, yeah, I've kind of always done that. I started that habit when I was a teenager, actually. And I found playing with fabric and sewing was a really great escape in some ways. And later, when I started to kind of think about it a bit more, it was more than just an escape. It was an actual way of processing data and material, consciously, subconsciously, so that, I could just keep on going without, some of that cluttering up my headspace and my emotional life. So, and I think if you talk to a lot of people who sew and who are creative, they'll talk about how there are times that what we do in terms of that sewing process or creative process can be very meditative, right? And, I guess from my other side of work, I've learned that meditation is, really crucial in terms of people's well-being, to feel connected to something beyond yourself, that creates feelings of hope and a sense of purpose. Those are all really, really important things for a human being, right? And so for me, that creative process that is channeled into fabric and sewing, is essential for my well-being and self-care, right? So over the years, it's been kind of challenging, and I've had to adapt, so there's times when we're out on, pardon me, field exercise, for example, and you're in the middle of nowhere and you have generators giving power, that my practice needs to adapt, that, I take cross stitch, and I've got cross stitch that it's just for kind of those situations where I can't take a sewing machine with me. But I will tell you that in my world, there are the material techs who often do have sewing machines, and who, if you're really nice to them and say, hey, I just like to sew for a little bit, they will give you an opportunity to sew. And there's been times that I've been able to use their equipment and just make things for them, essentially, right? Like they may be repairing canvas or things like that, and just being able to sit at the machine and, feed that fabric through, along with helping them unintentionally, can be really, really wonderful. So anyways, that is kind of where I am at this point. I wish you good evening or good morning, wherever you are in the world, and I hope you have a really wonderful week, and hopefully you have time to fit in some sewing.